And hello, and thank you for joining us once again on Community Talk. We've got a great fashionable show for you today. It's almost Fashion Week up in Santa Fe. Our friends up in Santa Fe always doing all kinds of great things. And today we're going to be talking about Santa Fe Fashion Week, and we're going to be talking to the folks with Rock Against Racism to find out just exactly what that is, how it ties into Santa Fe Fashion Week. So let's go ahead and talk to the folks that we're going to be talking to today. It's Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hey there.
How's it going?
Fantastic. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, glad you guys are here. Amanda?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Excellent. And then Brandon.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Hey, I want to give a big Rock Against Racism shout out to New Mexico.
Absolutely.
Right on.
What is Rock Against Racism?
What is Rock Against Racism? Rock Against Racism, it started as a campaign in London against the government because they were really trying to stop the music that was going on at that time. You had reggae, punk music was coming alive, rock music was coming back real good in the UK.
What year is this?
This is 1978.
Wow.
Right. This is a long time ago. You know, for us old people, that's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. I can still remember it, but go ahead.
Yeah, but, you know, so they had a concert and a big event to kind of, what would you say, to be
Kind of spurred on a
to
little bit.
spur it on a little bit? Yeah, I like that. And what went on with that, this organization just popped up and they started doing great things. Even back in 1978, bringing a conversation to the world about racism.
And you know, a long time ago, they started up this conversation. We're still talking about it. You would think that it would be better these days. It almost sometimes
In
feels like it's gotten worse.
2015, you'd think that it would be.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we put the band back together.
All right.
That's why we put the band back together, because here in New Mexico, the one thing that we do, we get along here.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We try to.
Pretty much.
I mean, I would say that New Mexico, Santa Fe, Albuquerque area, we do have a lot of people that put forth that effort to get along and to try to not notice it, not to like separate people, basically. You know, we do try to do that, embrace everybody's differences, and I think Santa Fe is a great place for that sort of thing.
It's such a cultural melting pot. It's really awesome.
So how does Rock Against Racism tie into Fashion Week, which kicks off this coming Monday, and it's going to go all week and then into next weekend, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what happened early on, I had a meeting with John Hendry, who's the president of the local 480, and we're talking about Santa Fe Fashion Week and their involvement in the event. And just like on top of his head, he's like, would you like to work with the Rock Against Racism? And so that's how it really started, and it added an extra flavor and an extra event to our week-long event, so we're really excited about that.
And so how will that work? So Rock Against Racism will start Monday.
Yes.
And there's a website that you guys are kicking off this coming Monday, right?
Yes, we're having our website launch. It's RARSF.com.
That's easy
That's
enough.
rockagainstracismsantafe.com. And we're going to be doing some big things Monday night. It's a black and white boogie we're having.
All right.
Okay. Everybody's going to wear white. We're going to have black lights. And we're doing a rock the runway.
Yes.
We have a rock the runway fashion designer coming in. We have some awesome models going to be on stage. And we have Draymond. He's one of Albuquerque's biggest hits that is going to be there. And he's going to do a little hip-hop show for us. All right?
That's going to be awesome.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so that's
really
all going
excited.
on for the first day of Fashion Week.
And that's
Yes.
at the what nightclub?
Now, are there costs for tickets, Santa Fe Fashion Week tickets, and then of course for the Rock
Yeah.
Against Racism
And so
concert?
the movie true cost is going to be $10, and you can actually get them at the Violet Crown off their website.
Okay.
And so that's really cool. And then afterwards, it's just a what do you call that? Donations if you want to donate at the door for the concert.
It's
Please
an all,
donate.
It's an all ages party.
Oh, good. How does the Rock Against Racism and the fashion show, how does that all benefit the film industry in New Mexico?
Well, it's really, I'm sorry. Well, it's really interesting the way it's working is they've been really great about supporting us as far as, we're bringing in celebrity designers this year from Project Runway, and they're helping bring people from Albuquerque Airport to Santa Fe. So they've been a really great supporter. And then also they're teaming up with some of the local colleges to train people to bring them up into the film industry, because the industry is getting so big here. The biggest issue is we have a lot of trained people to put the movies on, but we have to keep growing that. And
Oh,
there are
yeah,
jobs to do on the
absolutely.
road, yeah.
So to keep growing the people that work on the movie sets and
Yes,
behind
yes.
the scene people, the
Well,
key
like
grips.
We're an outreach program.
Uh-huh.
That's the one of the greatest thing about Rock Against Racism. We are a community outreach program where we're trying to show people here in New Mexico that movies make money for New Mexico.
Yeah.
The reputation of the local people that belong to the 480, I understand John's actually getting phone calls and from movies in other states are saying, hey, could you lend us a hand? And so
Yes.
people are, people do have the strong skill set here. And like I said, if the movie's being filmed back in LA or Charlotte, wherever, they're calling John Hendry at the 480 and saying, hey, can you ship us crew here because we need help.
So if you're listening to this right now, if there's people that are here in our state, in our city, that are listening to them, can they work their way into the movie industry through
Oh,
Rock
yes.
Against Racism?
Yes, they can. We have what is called the Overflow Program. You can go to the IATLocal480.com and they have a little box on the left-hand side where it says Overflow. It gives you all the instructions on what you need to do. And
Ross
we
is
wanna
lucky to have
we
you.
really want to thank Santa Fe Fashion Week. These guys, man, they've been bringing, for the last 4 years, this is your 5th year, they've been bringing an art to Santa Fe, and they have a vision, and we're really glad to be a part of that with them, because they're showing that, you know, saying, even with our art, we can be a voice.
Thank you for
And-
that, Brandon.
But he's right about that. I mean, you guys do it all week long. It's the Fashion Week, and you keep adding to it every single year. Rock Against Racism is something that
Yes.
you've added this year. And on Monday evening, there's going to be the movie. Let's touch on that movie again, just real quick.
It's a movie about fast fashion and its effects on our society and people in the world.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much waste that happens. It's so many billions of waste every year. You know, how much, what is the true cost of that $5 H&M dress?
Wow.
Who's really paying for that? And so Andrew Morgan is the director,
Uh-huh.
and he'll be here along with the producer Michael Ross, and they will have a Q&A session afterwards.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we're going to bring that party together because, there's a lot of racism, structurally in the fashion industry.
Really?
And so because we're a different kind of fashion week in the city, we want to embrace this movement and help push that along. So we're going to bring the party, to Skylight afterwards,
Right.
following this Q&A session.
All right. I want to go back to something that Amanda mentioned just a minute ago, and the movie will focus on this too, but racism in the fashion industry. So I'd never heard of that.
Really? Well, I think that, it's not uncommon to look at our whitewashed runways. One thing that Santa Fe Fashion Week has always done is have a wide variety of people of all different body sizes and shapes and creeds and types, to help kind of combat that. Because like I said, we aim to be, leaders in the fashion industry right alongside, we can't make a difference unless we're competing with like New York Fashion Week.
Hell yeah.
But, on the same token, we don't want to be doing things exactly the way they've always been.
So you're talking about, when you see the runway model and it's like this skinny girl, it's like, and none of us can relate to her story at all. And but you're going to kind of change that up with your runway models. Is that what you mean?
I definitely believe in supporting people of all different body types.
Yeah.
Body shaming is body shaming.
So I just
period,
did it when
across
I
the
called
board.
her
No,
skinny.
I didn't like that.
Let's back the truck up. Let's back the truck up.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But what I mean is, I think that we should all start collaborating, and
Yes.
instead of this divisiveness and this us or them and me and her and all that, we can definitely come together and find those commonalities.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is why we need to have conversations like this.
And so that's what Fashion Week is doing.
Absolutely.
It's starting this conversation, keeping it going
Because
all week.
racism comes in all fashions, forms, and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday, we're also going to be at the Palace, and we're Rock Against Racism along with the IATSE Local 480 and the fashion department. We're doing a campaign, Beauty Shouldn't Hurt, and that's one of our hashtags, hashtag Beauty Shouldn't Hurt.
So you're listening to this right now. It is not live, but jot it down because this site will go live
Yes.
on Monday.
It's going to be rarsf.com.
All right.
Our website is alive. It's great. I hope that everyone logs on to it. We have so many great things, a lot of information, a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, a lot of music.
Is that kind of a first stop to go when they want tickets for the events?
For Santa Fe Fashion Week, all our information, including Rock Against Racism, is on SantaFeFashionWeek.com.
All right. Okay, that's great. So SantaFeFashionWeek.com. Well, you guys, I really appreciate you coming in today. It's been a great, energetic show.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much.
Right, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the energy back.
Yes,
You've
absolutely.
been amazing too, thanks for.
Yes, and thanks for having us too.
Stephen, Amanda, and Brandon, thank you guys so very much for coming in. Good luck with Santa Fe Fashion Week. I love Santa Fe. It's a great place, a great event for this kind of thing to go down. So thank you. And thank you all for listening to Community Talk. We'll see you again next weekend.
Community Talk.